Before we get started, there's 10 minutes of me waffling on about the paddle, what happened, the conditions. It's 10 minutes of waffling. If you don't want to listen to it, skip it. Enjoy.
Welcome back to the channel. It has been another couple of weeks since the last upload. There's been a lot of talk around, especially locally, about when the next clip was going to be posted because of the conditions that we had and the situation that happened on our Bloody Sunday. Well, big Sunday. A bit of a recap, a summary of a day that was pretty extreme. And I've actually tried to do an edit of this special day a couple of times now, and it is extreme. I'm just watching some of the footage now. Epic day. Conditions: 40 knots, gusting to 50 knots with I think it was a 10 to 15 foot swell and storm fronts coming in. So it was extreme. The course was the same run that we did the Tuesday prior, so that was the last clip that I posted with that big wave going under the bridge. Same course. Done this a few times in big conditions. The wind was extreme. Even I had a hoolie at that big wave before the bridge. Unlike the Tuesday on the previous clip where I caught the wave, this day there was so much water moving out underneath the bridge with the tide going out. It just felt like the wave caught me. As soon as I realised I didn't have the speed to get this wave, I knew I was gone. So it pitched a couple of times and the nose buried. Water's gone over my face, and as soon as the second time happened, the canoe just started to purl left, and straight away that was it. So I made the call to bail and bailed on the non-armour side. So that was okay for me, and then we had a bit of a regroup after the bridge, climbed back on, no dramas. And then from after the bridge to the finish line, the fastest 7Ks I've ever done on a canoe. One of the 1 kilometre splits was the fastest I've actually ever gone on a ski or a canoe. It was insane. Difficult. You can see on some of the clips that the sun was coming over the east, so it was literally right on the water. The wind gusts were, that 45, 50 knots. There was spray going everywhere. Sometimes the wind was that strong, it just blew the tops off the rungs. And it was pretty intense. Being out in conditions like that, you certainly know you're alive for sure. So that was my part of that run. Unfortunately, one of the guys that was in our group, he had a bit of a struggle with the conditions, and thankfully everyone was all right. At the end of the day, there was a rescue. He had to activate his PLB, which is our little EPIRB device that we all carry. You'll see it on the top of my PFD. So, he'd done everything leading up to getting on the water that was right. Everyone had all the safety equipment, the PLB. We had a plan. We knew what we were going to do if we had to wait for someone. We had cars at the start, cars at the finish. And the good thing about being in this area of water is that it is enclosed. So it's not out in the open ocean. The swell and the wind actually pushes you to shore. And it's pretty much it's an industrial area where the bay is. So in terms of that, we thought we had everything covered. But one of the guys just had equipment failure, and once you have equipment failure in your canoe, you can't paddle it, then it makes the situation in the weather that we're in quite difficult. So another one of the guys managed to find the guy that had lost, had broken his equipment, rafted up. By that stage, the cold had set in and he had decided to activate his PLB. So that done, they rafted up, had tape, bit of nous to tape up the two canoes together, and get rid of the broken piece, sit and wait for what ended up being the helicopter coming in. All of us from this run, we learn a lot about how important it is to have the safety gear, how important it is to have a plan. Everyone knows what's going on. I guess the big takeaway for a lot of us was how quickly the signs of hypothermia start to set in for not having probably warm enough paddling gear on. So if you're in the water for any amount of time, that's something that you definitely have to think about. That being said, always be prepared. Sometimes it's better to be a bit warmer on the water than it is thinking you're not going to need it. For me, I'm just looking at some of the footage now. I was wearing a thermal top, a t-shirt over the bright t-shirt over the top, my PFD, paddling shorts and booties. If I had spent a lot of time in the water, potentially I could have, got a lot colder too. But once I was moving, and I've got confidence in those conditions, for me personally, I was fine. But that was definitely an issue for the guy that got himself into trouble. Just something to think about, if you're going out in cold conditions, wear warm clothes. But anyway, thanks for tuning into the channel. Thanks for the support. Don't forget, like, share, and don't be afraid to leave a comment. I don't preach to be the world's best paddler, for sure. But I definitely like to push my personal limits and boundaries. So, make a comment, whether you like it or you don't. I don't mind. I'm just like to share the stoke, share the conditions that we have here in Western Australia. I hope you're loving it. I know that's been 10 minutes of waffling on. Enjoy Sunday Bloody Sunday. You.
Your location, analyzing biometrics, blending materials, customizing your experience.
I fall in love, I usually do my time, hoping it gets better.